Hello. Uh, Look, last night I covered the new FEH update. Because I figured after my 20-hour day of doing my daytime job and then pumping out like 3 videos and a live stream, I figured what was one more? you know? All the games I played got an update yesterday. Why not cover the FEH one too? So I opened it up, I skimmed it, I didn't see an Ileana refine, and then I almost immediately zoned out for the rest of the notice. However, when I got to the arena changes, I didn't fully understand what it was talking about. Okay, because I don't really pay attention to Arena or Aether Raids that much as it is. I look at who the bonus legendary is, I put that legendary in my team, and then I just do what I need to do to get through the week so I can get my free ticket and then summon something that is hopefully not a Makoto. Okay? That's how I play Arena. Well, I'm here to tell you I just got a baller 7 hours of sleep, and I am awake, viewers. I am up and alert. So welcome to the video where I try and mobilize you to save FEH from the intelligent system's decisions that could very well risk end of service. And I say end of service, I know that's a scary term, okay? But I have been through a couple EOS. I've seen them. I know what causes them. The downstream effects of what this decision implies is EOS stoking. Alright? And I'm not saying that to scare you. I'm saying that to wake you up. Because it's easy to just complain on Twitter and just hope that, oh, well, it'll be fine. Sometimes you gotta send the feedback, and you gotta push the feedback, and you gotta make them hear you, because this is an awful decision. Okay? It's true that the last 10 legendary heroes are still going to be bonuses in Arena and Aether Raids, and the older ones are still available. No one's taking them out of the game. You still have legendary bonuses for those modes. I would argue that it almost makes their availability kind of pointless, unless you really like the character. If they don't score in those modes anymore, the only reason to have them is if you like them. Doesn't matter if they get a fresh coat of paint in a remix banner. Doesn't matter if they get fancy new skills in Hall of Forms. You're going to use them in, like, abyssal maps or something. And that's a problem, mainly, because the fandom generally migrates towards using their favorites. I was literally live with Z last night, going over some hero review stuff, and even he was like, I like seeing older stuff, I like using characters that I like giving new skills to older units. I know, a topical conversation. Obviously. If you look at Choose Your Legends over the past couple years, you will notice that voting has gone down. Like, the general total number of votes has just kind of gone down. And I would argue that the main reason for that is that people don't really care about voting as much if their favorite has already gotten a Choose Your Legends alt. If they've gotten a Brave variant. They might still log in and vote, but is it going to be every night for 7 nights? Are they going to be as enthusiastic about voting, or are they just going to be like, oh, my friend really likes this one. Or this guy I saw on YouTube said we should vote this way. So, yeah, okay. I'll do that. Players migrate towards their favorites because Fire Emblem has thousands of characters in its history. And someone in there has a fan. And now some of the most popular options, like Ike, like Celica, whomstever, you're basically neutering them from being viable in a particular game mode. Mode Z. For what? Did they even justify the reason? No. Another point I want to highlight real quick is that a lot of those popular characters have already been made into legendary heroes. You know? The game's been around for almost a decade. They can't just, like, reskin those characters, right? Into, let's say, a legendary-ish version that you could use in any season because they are blessingless. And they have newer game-breaking mechanics. So it almost feels like, I'm just going to throw out another hero type off the top of my head, emblems, to phase out older legendaries that have already kind of run their course. Player spending aside, this is a decision that will test the goodwill of players. Knowing that something is viable in the game one day and then it's just gone the next day is not only a way to get players to stop spending money, but it is also a really good way to get them to stop playing altogether. Because even free-to-play players give a currency of value to any gacha game that they play. It's not in dollar amounts, but it is in time invested. And gacha games thrive on dollars spent and player time invested. Two pretty big metrics that they look at. Now, I myself advocate for playing with your favorite characters, investing in them over the new ones debuting. That doesn't really hurt the bottom line because you still need new skills from those new characters to give to the old units. Right? So, ultimately, it's like a cycle where players without their favorites in, or just kind of waiting for more of their favorites to get in, wait for those debuts, or players that already have their favorites and continuously use those favorites wait for new skills to make them better. You're removing part of that equation. And much like in Choose Your Legends, if they don't have a reason to vote, they're just not going to vote. If players don't have a reason to play, i.e. using their favorite characters, they're not going to play. Or they're just not going to make as big of an effort doing it. Can you see the tower starting to tilt a little bit? Gacha game economies are interesting from a player perspective because it takes a little bit of everybody to make the game successful. You know? You need your whales. You need your light spenders. You need your free-to-plays. If you start removing some of those players from that ecosystem, I don't think I need to incentivize you guys. Like, I don't think I need to convince you that this is a bad idea. I think everybody understands that this is a bad change. It hurts everybody because taking options away hurts everybody. More options in a monetarily predatory gacha game is a good thing. Less options, bad thing, right? The new Arena system and Aether Raids system has less options for players, and it ultimately hurts the Remix banner sales and the Forma pack sales in general. And again, beyond the money aspect, it hurts players' goodwill. It does not incite loyalty among your players when you rip something away from them. That is called betrayal. Betrayal, not often a word you associate with good things. Right? This, I don't think, was a decision that was quickly implemented. I think it has been in the play for a while now. Here's a couple of reasons. The stretch of older heroes in the remix banners getting later and later. That has been a long, slow burn. I do the hero tracker. I know these things. I see it. Alright? Some of these older legendaries are literally September of 2025 now. A whole year away. Coincidence? Maybe. Or timing coming together. They've started putting newer legendaries in Hall of Forms, which everybody thought, oh, that's cool. I was one of them at first. And then I kind of realized, wait, does this just mean we are going to accelerate the rate at which we get power creep? The answer, probably yes. And again, they're basically making Emblem Heroes like the new legendaries by reskinning older legendaries and making them blessingless, and then giving them, you know, way more useful and diverse mechanics that are ultimately unique to them. Not only that, they intentionally timed this stealth update to Arena and Aether Raids right after Choose Your Legend drops. Literally a couple weeks ago. We had 2 FEH channels in the month of August, and they chose not to put any of this in there. Look, they're not going to roll these changes back without a push. Okay? So I am here to offer as a catalyst for that push. I am sending feedback. I will probably do it daily until I get a response. If you would like to do so as well, if you would like to send feedback in a thought out and respectful, constructive manner, I would encourage you to do that. If you need a little push because you don't quite know what to say or how to formulate it, I will leave what I am basically sending as feedback in the description of this video, and you can see it, and just copy paste it over and send it. Because they know this decision is bad. And we know this decision is bad. I think they need a reason to not do it. And if enough voices come together, that may be the push that they need. They have reversed some decisions before. We all remember the Fjorm remix, right? I think we're pretty unified as players in this decision. I think is just trying to stretch how far they can push the players by milking every last dime out of us. And instead of coming up with good gameplay mechanics and thoughtful game design, they are instead just trying to get you to pull on the banners out of necessity and fear. Well, if you want to score, got to get the new thing. Because there's ways to not do that. I know that as gacha players, we sometimes resign ourselves to, well, it's all about the mighty dollar. But there are games that are designed like intelligently that keep you engaged. And while it might encourage you to spend, it does not become a necessity. And might I remind you, 3 orbs for the anniversary. They are not giving you the in-game currency in which to obtain all the new stuff. They're not. As a free-to-play, you cannot spark on every single banner, okay, in a given month. That's not feasible. You do have to pick and choose. Sometimes you have to skip months. This is a bad decision. You know that. I know that. Let's make sure that they know that we know how bad it is. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.